Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more BattleTech. We're here today with a mission for the Capellans. Yes, after the flashpoint where they were our targets, we're now going to go ahead and help them because that is what mercenaries do. We go where the money is. So we're going to go ahead and take this little bit of a battle. I don't think it's going to be particularly crazy. There's some good money on offer. Salvage wise, it is 2.5 skulls. I think we're probably with, I think we're in a better position to take money than salvage for this one. Depending how things go, we might get a nice sizable payout, and again, anything that helps keep us afloat is probably not a bad thing, so we will see how we go. We do have our Zeus, our Cyclops and Marauder up and running at the moment. Now this is a battle in the Highlands, so I suppose we should probably bring out an extra mech. What do we want? That is the question. Well, you know what? Salvage isn't necessarily what we're after, but an AC-20 could be helpful here. Give us a chance to bring out the new Marauder 2R. That could be a bit of fun. We've got some good fire support. The Cyclops will let us get going nice and quickly. Yeah, you know what? I think that might actually be the way that we do this. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll even swap spots just so... yeah, force of habit doesn't make me think they are each other. Yeah, and I think we'll go ahead and bring that along. The Zeus, yeah, we will go ahead and maintain Archangel there. Oh, and hang on a second. Before we deploy, I almost forgot. We signed off fairly quickly at the end of the last episode, and I'm sure we have some XP to use. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and boost up your piloting there. We have Hawk. Yep. Let's go ahead and max out that gunnery skill.
Training complete.
And then myself, I can also pick up that last one there. Alright, so
complete.
Now that we have not forgotten anything and we are going in as prepared as possible, let's go ahead and sort this back out. This should be good. Alright, so let's move everybody back to where they were. And now we can go ahead and take on the mission. I think the Cyclops should be fine. It's not super heavy, but again, that initiative is phenomenal. LRMs coming in, knockovers and things like that, and then our extra initiative, well, twice over, is remarkably good. Let's go ahead and deploy.
MechWarriors, prepare for combat.
Alright, so our objective is to go ahead and destroy a joint task force. We have a situation here and we'd like your help. We've detected a task force of local government and restoration units operating openly on the planet. We need to hunt them down and turn them to scrap, but even if we do manage to find them, our own forces aren't up to the task of engaging that many enemies at once. We'd like you to send a lance to accompany our own team. The two of you can then engage the enemy together and negate their numerical advantage. Alright, so in for lots of money, not so much the salvage. Be prepared. Alright, so I'd prefer to handle things ourselves, but if they want us to play babysitter, I suppose that's what we'll do. You know, unfortunately, if only we had a second weapon, we could maybe drop 2 lances at once. But oh well, it is what it is. Alright, Alpha Lance, the task is up. The task force is up ahead. Our intel puts them somewhere in this area. Once we've cleared out the enemy lances, regroup at this location for extraction. Oh, right. Listen, mercenaries, do us a favor and stay out of the way. Let the professionals work. Well, is this guy for real, boss? I say let him take enemy fire, and less overtime for my crew. Just stick near them and keep them alive, Commander. It doesn't matter who gets the kills as long as these professionals make it back more or less intact. Saddle up, Alpha. Let's clear this AO and go home. Alright then. Well, if that's what they wish, we will see. Oh, this is Argo Actual. Capellan Lance will cover your advance, and that won't be necessary, Argo. We've got this. Just stay put and keep out of our fields of fire. Understood, Agamemnon, but we're under contract to... Then you can lift off and collect your payment. Agamemnon out. Alright. Well, only one of them must survive. That's how we get our mission done. So what have they got? They have a quick draw. Okay, that's not bad. An Atlas. Oh wow, these guys are prepared for something crazy. Okay. I was not expecting them to bring that on a 2.5 skill mission. A Javelin and a Vindicator. Alright, so these guys are running fairly heavily. I am curious to see what we're going to be dealing with. But alright, let's get our Cyclops forwards. We'll try and prepare. Let's see. Could easily get flanked from a few positions. I don't know if they're going to have any reinforcements, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let's get our Zeus. Actually, you know what? Yeah, here we go. We can swing our Zeus around the other side.
On my way.
Let's spread out our sensors. Alright, and then I guess we get the Marauder up and moving too, although you know what, maybe we just maintain a little bit of cover. That's about as far as we can go anyway. But at least we're prepared in case we get assaulted. And then same with Hawk. Let's go. Actually, you know what? Maybe you can stay behind the Cyclops for now. After all, you do have some better range. Alright. Now, this is trundling forwards. Still no sign. Alright. Still no sign. Alright, let's get this Cyclops up and running. Let's go ahead and pick up... I suppose cover is probably ideal. Yeah, there we go. There's contact. Alright, so we had kind of expected that. We see a 55 and a 25-ton mech. Let's get our Zeus. You know what? Let's just move up as far as we can.
I'm walking here.
Oh, and it looks like we're slightly outside of line of sight of the 45-ton mech. Okay, you know what? I reckon this Zeus and Rannick can probably handle this guy fairly easily. Let's move on up. Well, that way we can at least get to some cover on the next turn. As for Hawk, let's travel... You know what? Oh, can we take cover here? I think I would prefer just a little bit of cover there. Not that I'm super concerned, but if these guys get in closer, or at least we try and sink our initiative, push them towards us, I'd rather take a little bit of extra cover. Alright, allies, what are we doing? LRM's at the blackjack. Alright then, fair play, fair play. What do they have? A commando. Okay. That is not a concern. Oop. More LRMs. Thank you for taking cover. Alright, so far so good, and we know that there's definitely more back there, so we do need to be aware of this. Or at least I would assume that there's more than just one. Alright, so what have we got here? We have... Wow. Very solid barrage.
Yep.
That could be nice, although I'm thinking... Our odds are not phenomenal here, but I guess we can move up and see where that 55-tonner is. And then maybe we see if we can get a shot.
Roger that, Commander.
Alright, what do we see? Oh, we've got more. We've got another 50-ton and another 20-ton mech. Okay, I'm guessing that's maybe a Locust 1M, judging by those LRMs before. Alright, let's see. Commando, you've got some decent cover. Yeah, guarded, stacking from cover bonuses. That means 40% damage reduction. This guy here, he's got something similar. Alright, well, you know what? If we're going to do damage, we may as well go the one with the better probabilities to hit. So let's open fire early.
Copy that.
And we'll see if we can make something of it. Alright, now the question is, do we try and get a kill and then go for the blackjack in one turn? You know what? It's only got 2 large lasers. The mediums, they probably could get online, but again, I'm not super concerned. We've got some solid piloting, some whatever else. You know what? I think we reserve for one turn. Yeah. Maybe we should have gone ahead and reserved earlier, but I was kind of curious to see what was hanging back there. It could have been useful to have, depending. Alright, so here comes the Arano Restoration. 50 tons, firing LRMs. Alright, well my bet is that that is a
You
trebuchet.
need me to hold still for you?
Alright, that is kind of annoying that they've got so much in the way of LRMs. Yeah, let's leave Rannick for now. Hopefully they're not going to focus too heavily on this Marauder over here. Yeah, alright, well at least we have cover. Alright, who's doing what? Vindicator. Yes, okay. Continue to soften them up, please and thank you. Blackjack is missing plenty of shots. Okay, excellent. That is what we wanted. Alright, so... Ooh, more hits. Okay.
Try aiming next time. See what you get.
I guess judging from that barrage there with PPC and autocannon, maybe a Centurion? And more LRMs. Okay, are you still upright? Ooh, you're still upright. Alright, that is concerning though, because I do not know. Yeah, we need to shake some of that if possible, and we've taken a pretty heavy beating, so we might need to maybe swing off to the side. Alright, so our Cyclops, let's go... I guess we'll put you front and center. We technically don't get to see what's back there. Yeah, I want to maintain cover. It would be foolish not to. I think maybe what we do is we send an LRM over here and back there, and then see about maybe focusing the rest on the Wolverine. Just kind of cut down their evasion. Yeah. See if we can make ourselves a bit more of a priority to their targeting. Alright, so Blackjack. Then I think we go... Actually, that Commando... This Wolverine's far more beat up. You know what? Maybe we put more of our damage on the Wolverine and we only send a... Maybe we send just a single... Oh, actually, you know what we're going to do? A single medium laser at the Commando. That way we get the breaching shot. It's not very probable, but it does mean that all of these LRMs we can try and boost up to do as much stability damage as possible to the Wolverine. I think that's the way that we play this. Yeah. I think that's how we do this. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, one on A, one on B, the rest on the Wolverine. That's fine.
Engaging multiple targets.
Alright, so far so good. Breaching shot. And it lands. Very nice. Alright, heatsink destroyed. Excellent.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Alright, this is ideal. So let's have a look. How's that Wolverine doing? Almost took off that torso. Okay, SRM 6 AC5. Again, nothing too scary. Let's check in. How did that Commando do? We hit it in the torso. Okay, would have been better to be the center, but you know what? That's fine. We'll leave it as it is.
I live to serve.
Let's see. What has this Zeus got of ours? You know what? Maybe we come in for a little bit of a supporting role here. We fire a bunch of LRMs. We fire some medium lasers over here. We can still stay nice and cool. Yeah, but we can give them two flanks to deal with. I think that seems fair.
Rolling.
Alright, so let's go ahead and multi-target once more. Wolverine, we're going to target that thing with all the LRMs. Again, we want to try and knock off as much weaponry as possible. As for the Blackjack, I don't think we technically need to use all of these lasers. We should be fine as far as... you know what? Let's drop a little bit of extra heat early on. We're probably going to clean this up with Headhunter anyway. We'll have the resolve, so you know what? Let's save our heat. Yeah, in fact, you know what? We're not even going to fire any of our medium lasers. Yeah, we'll move up. We'll take some shots. We'll stay nice and cool. And then, yeah, and then we'll deal with it. So, if that's the case, I guess we just go ahead and fire. Yeah.
Firing on target.
Alright, so some solid stability damage there.
Cobra strikes.
There goes some of his weaponry, I believe. That's his AC5 dropped. Yep. And he is looking soft.
Standing by.
Alright, so let's go ahead and quickly get our Marauder into cover. We're going to...
Got it.
We're going to stay nice and cool for this. I don't think we're going to get a kill right now, so we're going to save it. We're going to drop off the... We'll drop off the AC-20 ammo. That'll keep us cool. And then... yeah, that way we're still doing damage. So if for some reason we're unlucky enough not to get the kill next turn, this thing's going to be fairly weak.
Engaging target.
Alright, so there goes his arm.
I think I hit something good.
Alright, as for our ally, let's see what the Atlas does. Alright, following up nicely with some LRMs, and they have an assault of their own. Ooh, with breaching shot, no less.
Light damage, Commander.
Okay, well, that is good to know. What do we see back there? It's a 90-ton mech. I have to see what they've got there.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go ahead and play this smart. Let's go...
Skipper.
Oh, what do we want? We've got plenty of resolve. Oh, you know what? We're definitely going to get hit if we do not do something here. Let's travel... Let's see. You know what? Maybe we go over here. We can shield that... Oh, wait, no. That's our left torso. That's actually not ideal. Face head on. Maybe take out the 50-ton mech at a distance. Let's see. We would have range over here. Feel like it's fairly... it's fairly close on ranges. It's a little bit dicey. Let's maybe go... Well, let's have a look. We've got the Master Tactician, so let's see. Remove 1 bar of stability damage when reserving. Maybe that is what we do. I'm not expecting much in the way of incoming fire, not from the Commando. Yes, it's got some SRMs, but I don't think it'll do enough. Yeah, I think this is actually the way to go, and that way we can negate some of this stability damage. That's probably the better way to do this. So we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, we'll still get to have a turn before that 50-ton mech. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the way that we play this. We'll go... okay, maybe if that is the case, let's move Rannick instead. Go ahead and we'll take that shot on that blackjack. Cut them off from being able to see anything. We'll maintain cover, some evasion. Oh, but that said though, if we do not reserve... Yeah, if we do not reserve, we're going to... yeah, they're going to be able to hit us with those SRMs while we're there. Okay, you know what? Never mind. We're going to take the reserve action. It's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, but at least that's the Wolverine out of the way. That should hopefully mitigate some of the LRM incoming. Alright, some stability damage. Good thing we definitely reserved.
Armor bad.
That would have been terrible otherwise. And then... Local government forces 25%, but then there's still... I guess there's just some extra Irano troops that we could take out if we want extra money, I'm guessing. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Let's bring... Oh, actually, yeah, you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll stay over here. We'll make sure that that light mech does not get eyes on. Just to be extra irritating. Full salvo, full cover, maintaining evasiveness. I think that's worthwhile. Oh, Commander, I'm seeing new contacts. Probably the Restoration Lance. Listen up, people. We've got another Lance in the AO, so we'll need to intercept them before they can flank us. Alright, I don't think he's listening to our comms at all, Commander. Better go handle that second Lance before they do some real damage. Yeah, well, they're already starting to do that, but we're going to make sure that we mitigate whatever we can. Let's go for this headshot here. Let's destroy this blackjack as fast as possible.
Let her rip.
Alright, and apparently we do not get the kill.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Alright, well, not quite what I was hoping for, but it is what it is. Let's see, what are they bringing up? Trebuchet? Okay. Not what I was expecting, but that's alright. Oh, here's the other trebuchet. They're focusing on the... You know what? They're focusing on other mechs. That is ideal. I'm glad they're not going after our Marauder anymore. So let's see. AC5, PPC, and SRM2. That commando should be able to get eliminated pretty good. That trebuchet with those LRMs will be a problem for us.
Yep.
Yeah, alright. So let's go ahead and... We're not going to get eyes on from there. Oops.
Confirmed.
Let's see. If we move out of cover, we can technically get the AC5 online and take shots there, but I think that would be foolish as anything. Alright, I'm thinking what we do. That'll favor our left side, which again is not what we're looking for. Let's go... You know, maybe we swing around and show more of our right. Yeah, I think this might be the way that we play this. Alright, let's see. If we back it up... I'm looking for a little bit of a twist and turn around. Got some good shots there on that trebuchet, although we don't have the resolve to get the kill. Okay, sorry, to get that precision strike. I think what we do here is we reserve once more. We'll get rid of some of this stability damage. And, well, we'll see what we can do. Alright, Vindicator moving up, taking shots at the blackjack. That is good. Less damage than I would prefer. Actually, we should see how that blackjack is doing, because that did get pummeled by an AC-20. Alright, that guy's looking unsteady. Oh, here comes more. Okay, but they're going for the Cyclops. That is useful. Glad we got the Cyclops up as far as we did. Alright, so that blackjack, how did we do? Oh, okay. AC-20 clipped the leg. Did get a head hit, but not with enough weapons. Alright. Cyclops, let's bring you around here. We'll basically, yeah, we'll aim for the... I think we aim for that commando there. We'll try and eradicate that thing. We'll put a random shot of LRMs at the trebuchet for that evasiveness, and then maybe another one for the trebuchet or the blackjack even. Actually, you know what? Might even be able to take out that leg, depending. Maybe that's what we focus on. Yeah, free up a free precision shot. That could be ideal. Yeah, alright, so, let's go... You know what? We'll leave the trebuchet. We'll go ahead and we'll focus on that blackjack to try and knock that thing over. Try and hit that leg. And then the rest of the lasers can go ahead against that commando and see if we can soften that thing up. Yeah, that's how we'll do it.
Engaging multiple targets.
Alright, unfortunately it does not look like we took out that leg. Structure exposed on the commando at least. How's it doing? Not particularly well. That is a ton of SRM ammo. And, okay, it does have a second ton, but again, that would be bad for it.
I'm your spaniel.
Alright, let's go get our Zeus. Let's move up into cover. Let's give these guys something else to worry about. We'll fire lasers over here. I think that should be enough at the blackjack. And then...
Onward.
What else do we want? That locust, honestly, I'm not concerned about that. This trebuchet is probably more of an annoyance. That blackjack's really close to death. Alright, well, unfortunately we don't have breaching shot, but we'll have to make the most of it. Let's go ahead and send... We send the LRM-15 at the trebuchet. Yeah, he's got a lot of damage reduction, unfortunately. Yeah, they all do. Alright, well, we'll take what we can get. Maybe make him a bit easier to target, but the rest we'll just make sure that we get the kill on the blackjack. And then, you know what? At this point, then, if that is the case, maybe we send that to B, we'll send that to C. Yeah, we'll maybe try and kill the Locust, because that thing's fairly lightly armoured. Even with 40% damage reduction, with enough LRMs, we can get through whatever they've got.
Splitting fire on multiple targets.
Alright, and that blackjack still continues to survive. Maybe we should have gone with more. Alright, well, at least we took out a leg of one of the mechs.
Reporting critical hit.
Well, that's helpful. Alright, so how's this thing doing? Yeah, it's really... We've continued missing that leg and hitting that center torso instead. Kind of annoying. I was honestly hoping that would be maybe a little bit off-center, but I guess not. Alright, well... Yeah, know what? At this point, there's only one more barrage coming from whatever is back there. I think we try and negate as much of our stability damage as possible. We'll drop one bar otherwise. But let's go ahead and we'll use our reserve.
Waiting for the right play.
That way we should be in as good of a position as possible. Oh, good work there. Good work. Alright. Almost took out that commando. How do they retaliate? Up against the Vindicator? Alright, well there goes his arm. PPC. Alright, fair play, fair play.
Showing minor damage.
We can make that work though.
Yep.
Alright, let's go. Oh, we could take some choice shots if we'd want. I say we go up here and we just try and eliminate the trebuchet from... Oh wait, no, we can't do that this turn. Go for the commando? Ooh, actually the Locust might get targeted. You know what? No, the best choice is probably the commando. That way they're losing all of their sniping capabilities. Yeah, we'll go... Where have we got? Yeah, we'll swing back over here. That'll be fine. We'll go ahead and we'll take out that commando. What do we need? We need 14 points of damage. Let's drop... Actually, no, we got stacks of ammo. Yeah, we'll fire another 3 rounds this turn, so that'll take us down to 24. Yeah, we're fine. We'll just drop some... No, let's just drop the medium lasers. Let's cool on down a little bit. There we go. The UACs, they're not going to... Got some solid damage here. So what is that? 13. We could take off the arm and the torso in a single shot. That's not that far behind. Yeah, but this is the most heat-efficient way to handle things. Yeah, that's 16. Actually, maybe we just drop off the... Maybe we drop off the UAC 5 and maybe we can chuck in... Yeah, the medium laser at a higher percentage. Yeah, that'll keep us cool enough, I suppose.
I'm on him.
There we go. We only needed 1 out of 3, and it
Enemy
pretty much did
eliminated.
not matter where we landed that shot. Alright, but that's going to buy us some initiative, which is excellent. Javelin almost could take out that Locust. Close but no cigar. Yeah, look at that. 1 point. That's that cover
Ready for orders.
really making a difference. Alright, let's roll. What do we do? Do we just maybe move up and take some cover here? Got some pretty solid shots and we'll get eyes on all of these mechs. That could be helpful, although... Do we want to do that? You know what? That blackjack's almost toast. Maybe we just save that for the Zeus to clean up. But we are shooting it in the back. Alright, hang on. Let's not get too ridiculous. Let's just move. Yeah, we'll take a few... Yeah, we'll take some vision on a couple of things. You never know. Maybe we could even... Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe we could take a shot at that 90-tonner.
On it.
What are we dealing with? Alright, a Highlander. Ooh, boy. Okay, yep, that'll do it. And you know what? We've got some good odds. Why waste time? Let's go ahead and just fire at him. He's got no cover. No evasiveness. Yeah, let's see if we can make this thing disappear. Alright, 35% chance for the headshot. All that we need is the AC 20 to land and we are good.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
And maybe not quite good enough, but we did slow him down a little. Alright, so. How's he looking? Yep, only one medium laser. We almost clipped off his PPC.
Confirm.
Not quite as good as I wanted, but it is going to have to suffice. Let's move and target the trebuchet and see if we can take out the... Actually, maybe we should have tried to get over into these trees. That probably would have been a smarter play. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, that's... Alright, but you know what? Maybe we can show our right side a bit more. He's not going to be able to get behind us or anything, so maybe we swing more like this. Try and favor that right-hand side a bit more. And then we can target... Got some very unfortunate spots here. Again, we can focus on that locust, but is that really that ideal? That trebuchet is going to be up and around no matter what we do. Do we just try and build up our resolve? You know what? We'll go for the trebuchet. We'll see what we can take out. We'll pick up that extra bit of evasion. Full salvo that is available. Let's see if we can roll better on this one.
Engaging target.
Okay, that looked like what we needed.
Target down.
Okay, so they're going to have a little bit more trouble with their LRMs unless they start getting a spotter. They're going to start focusing on our Zeus and Marauder 2R. But I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to ignore us because otherwise we'll have their flank. Alright, some damage reduction working out well.
Is that all you got?
Alright, let's see what comes next. The Arana Restoration. Locust is back up and limping. Hitting that Vindicator relatively hard, actually. That thing is already stripped of a lot. Oh, hey, it looks like our Quick Draw is actually participating in this fight. That's nice to see. Okay. More damage.
I'm catching some serious shit here, Commander.
Yep. Understood there, Hawk. We'll keep that in mind. Alright, so this Locust is barely alive. The Blackjack, again, barely alive. Trebuchet, fairly well unfazed, and the Highlander is still kicking. And I'm thinking maybe a, what do we call it? Maybe a, what do you call the silly things? Archer. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, let's move our Cyclops up over here. We're going to have to go for some LRMs if we're going to stay nice and cool. Yeah, look, we'll obviously go ahead and fire at the Locust. It's not like they can stop us from doing 1 point of damage. And then we can go ahead and hit the Blackjack. Fire maybe a 2 there, and then maybe, I don't know, the last one at the Highlander and hope for a headshot? I don't know. Maybe we just go for the 2 for the kill. I think that's probably the smarter way to play this. Yeah, we'll send 2 at each. That'll be the way that we do it. That way we get the kills, builds up our resolve, and then we can handle with whatever comes next.
Engaging multiple targets.
Alright, CT destroyed, that's what we were after. Blackjack. Yeah, this is why we didn't put our fire. Yep. Okay, and there it is, an archer. Just as I expected. Alright, well, Command, this is Alpha Lance. We are under heavy fire. Alright, Commander, if these guys dies, we don't get paid, no matter how much they might deserve it. Yes, yes, I know. We're trying not to have them die, but that guy got pretty well,
Waiting for orders.
well, pretty well annihilated by continual focused fire. I don't blame him, because that is the way that you should do things, but it is what it is. Alright, so let's see. Blackjack. 40% reduction. Do we go for that, or do we just maybe try and go for an LRM and just hit that Highlander until it starts to fall? Alright, well, you know what? I think we should probably move on up. It's the best we could really ask for. That does put us a little close to our friend. Oh, here we go. We can pick up some evasion as well. Alright, hang on, but no, then that takes out our ability to shoot at the, Alright, fine.
Moving to position.
Takes out our ability to shoot at the blackjack, and I really want this thing to die. So what do we have? They have 20% reduction. This will do 75 points. It's 50. Yeah, you know what? We'll fire the LRM-15 at the blackjack. We'll use that. Then we'll go... maybe we'll fire the 2 LRMs at the Highlander there and see if we can get some stability damage going. And then if we've got anything left over, maybe we just put that damage on the... Let's see, what's worse? The Archer? Yeah, probably the Archer. That thing's got 2 LRM-20s. That's definitely the way to go. Alright, let's take our shots.
Confirmed.
Hey, there we go. Took out the leg and the center torso. Bye-bye, Blackjack. Highlander looking very unsteady. That's what we desire. And then a few shots on target. This is what we wanted. Alright, well, let's see. What does the Atlas do? Honestly, that Atlas has not done as much damage as I'd like. It's not tanking too much either. Ooh, structure exposed. That's not good.
That shot got through my armor.
Yep, okay, let's quickly check in on Hawk and see how he's doing. Okay, breaking through to that left torso. Unfortunate, we have not been able to twist far enough around, but I think we can protect ourselves on this next turn. Let's bring... Alright, let's see. If we move all the way up here, we can get a full salvo on the Trebuchet. If we get closer, we can go for the Highlander. And you know what? I think that that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to go for the Highlander shot. Yeah, it's already taken an injury. Yeah, I think that's what we do.
Position confirmed.
Alright, let's see if we can remove you from the battlefield and keep ourselves relatively safe. 33%, again, solid damage. All that we need is that AC-20 to land.
Copy that.
But if not... There we go. We got medium lasers to back it up.
Target neutralized.
Okay, big boy is down. And the best thing too is, even though we technically are not going for salvage and we're going for money, the fact that we have kept so much of it intact does increase our chances of us getting what we want. So yeah, that is pretty good. Alright, so what we're going to do here is... Oh, you know what? Maybe we just play this safe. Maybe we just swing our right side over. We'll fire our ACs. Yeah, we'll still maintain cover, but we should protect that more delicate side.
Order acknowledged.
There we are. That'll be fun. Let's go ahead and put some shots on.
10-4.
Alright. Well, let's see if someone else can take the brunt of the impact. They've got enough LRMs between the two that I'm pretty sure they could make one of us fall if they desired. So we've got to be careful. Alright, looks like they've gone for some poor shots. That's fine by me. Let's move. You know what? We're going to get rather toasty. Okay, well, I guess we'll just fire off our LRMs then. Yeah. Alright, starting to outflank. Let's see. This trebuchet is probably the ideal one. Yeah, we are going to probably hit its left-hand side. Slow that down. The odds are not much better one way or the other. The archer, though... Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make that fall over. Oh, but you know what? Actually, let's see. We'll get enough resolve anyway on the next turn. We can probably clean this up with our Marauder. Yeah, let's go for the archer. Maximize the cluster damage.
Engaging target.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure based on our percentage... I'm pretty sure depending on whatever the percentage is for LRMs to hit also changes the amount of like the cluster hits table. So if it's 100% with LRMs, most of the missiles are going to hit, like, you know, you might miss one or two. Whereas if it's only like a 35%, you might only get, you know, closer to a third to even a quarter of your missiles to hit if you're lucky. So, yeah, that's the way that I think. Alright, so let's go... you know what, let's just continue on barraging the... maybe we do just barrage the trebuchet and knock that over. Send the medium lasers up at the archer. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and use our coolant vent. That'll be fine. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll target you with the lasers, you with the missiles. Make this thing fall over.
Got it, Commander.
I know I said it the other way around before, but again, that archer just shrugged off all of its stability damage, so it didn't really make a whole stack of sense to try and inflict that much there. Alright, well.
Good to go.
What do we target? That archer is a viable strategy.
Yep.
Our other Marauder, though, does get an opportunity here if we desire. Autocannons. That's technically 3 shots. Even with the damage reduction of 40%. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. We only need 2 of them to hit. But that would mean we need both of them, and I don't think we're going to roll those dice there. That would be...
Yes, Commander.
That would be a little improbable, unfortunately. But what we can do is we will... we're going to get rather hot. Yeah, we're going to have to drop off a medium laser. Alright, let's go... Actually, we'll knock him over too if we, even if we don't get the kill. You know what? Let's back up. Let's be smart about this. We're going to back up. That way we can't get targeted and we're not going to damage our mech here. Although admittedly, we've barely been scratched. Maybe we do just swing across. Yeah, pick up some cover. Yeah, you know what? That seems wise.
Move into position.
Go ahead and we'll deal with this. Alright, cold shot. Let's go for that headshot.
Target confirmed.
Ugh, not looking good. Alright, glad we took cover.
Critical hit.
But that is a knockdown, so that does help. Fine, I guess you can't be guarded if you're lying on your back now, can you? Alright, Javelin. Follow up, please and thank you. Let's have a look. How's he doing? Surprisingly well. He's down to a single medium laser, so I'm guessing melee is on the cards. Oh, we crit the LRM-15 enough to take that out. That's handy.
Orders?
Alright, well, I don't know. I guess we'll go ahead and we will maintain distance and just shoot at the archer? May as well pepper him with some fire.
Firing.
Alright, quick draw moving up. Honestly, walking and firing LRMs would probably have been a smarter choice, but I guess it can do what it wants. Oh, that thing is rather toasty. Wait a second, did it take... Oh no, it just mustn't have had any real decent opportunities. It must have been too hot. Alright, well that's fine. Let's move up. Let's target... Oh, it's still LRMs? Hang on a second. If it's not us, who else is there to have a turn?
Orders?
It's our Zeus. Alright, let's move our Zeus up. We're gonna go... Actually, you know, we're just gonna get shot at either way. Let's just move up. We'll go for the outflank. We'll start getting behind that thing. We'll give it a little bit of something to be concerned about. Alright, heat is way too much. How much do we need? 110. Alright, let's drop the lasers. Okay, let's drop an LRM and maybe switch out a mate. Alright, well I guess we do more with the LRMs, so we'll just go ahead and let that be. Oh, of course, the extra heat is from the having vented our coolant. Alright, let's just go ahead and center torso, I suppose.
Locking target.
Alright, and then for us in the Cyclops, let's go ahead and move forwards. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move up. We'll try and keep some of the others alive. We'll just aim here. It's practically dead anyway.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yep, alright, so the Atlas. Hey, it's finally fired that AC-20. It's being helpful. It got a head hit. Hey there, finally. Okay, it's about time these guys showed their professionalism. Although, what is that, 10 points of damage? Alright.
Commander.
Thanks, I suppose. Alright, let's move on up. We'll go for the kill. If we can get it, we may as well. It's already taken, what, a head hit, so it's not going to be the best that's ever felt. We can drop off that second medium laser and maintain our heat. Yeah, alright, 33%. Let's see what we can do. AC-20? Let's see what... Actually, you know what? That amount of damage is just perfect, so that AC-20 can get the kill if we want. Excellent.
Engaging target.
That said, though... Still living. Rather rude. Alright, let's see if we can knock this thing over. How did we do? Yeah, it's... AC-20 definitely hit that right torso.
Confirm.
Let's leave the Marauder for a second. We'll see if we can follow up with a
I got you.
precision shot if we can knock this thing down. Unfortunately, all of this damage reduction is keeping that thing vertical.
Copy that.
Alright, Cyclops. Let's drop the medium lasers, but we will fire everything else.
Engaging target.
Okay, an explosion, that'll help.
Enemy mech critical damage detected.
So that's most of his hit points taken away. That's what, 1, 2... Yeah, so the ammo explosion is 1, the torso is 2, the hit before is 3, and 4... My goodness, the Gladiator must have 5 hit points. That is...
I'm ready.
remarkable. Alright, well,
Rolling.
we can still fix this. Let's keep on firing those LRMs, and I guess this is as best as we can ask. Yeah, let's go.
Engaging.
Right arm destroyed. MechWarrior Suite is
Scored a
gone.
critical hit.
Not quite enough for that torso, though. My goodness, this thing is... Wait a second. LRM-20 is still in play? Oh no, it's got an LRM-20 and ammo in the torso. Right, of course, that would make sense.
Yep.
Alright, well, I guess we're going to just knock it over with our shot, whatever we're going to do. Alright. Oh, and you know what? That's enough for the kill. That's okay. That's enough to knock him unconscious.
Affirmative.
There's the knockdown. And apparently he has hit points to spare. Alright, well, I guess the Atlas gets to steal the kill. Fair enough. Alright, well boss, how'd it feel to work with real professionals? The target's down and the good guys made it out. That's all that matters, Maya. That's
Mission
right.
Successful.
All of our guys are the good guys. Everybody else will question that. That said though, if you would love to join on into some of the fray of Leviathan's might, we are accepting pilot submissions. So if you have a MechWarrior you'd love to join on in, let me know in the comments section below. Looking for a first name and a last name as well as a call sign, that is all that is needed. But if you want to tell us more about your MechWarrior, we're always pleased to learn a little more. Okay, so solid payday, 1.25 million sea bills, very delightful. Marauder did take a little bit more damage than I would have preferred. We just couldn't find a good way to twist our mech around to avoid the incoming damage. As for our salvage, we got part of an Archer, Blackjack and a Trebuchet. Unfortunately not the Highlander, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. We knew the possibility at the beginning. You know, maybe with those things, when we do have an extra lance, maybe it could have been worthwhile bringing only salvage over money. We could have possibly put a lot of mechs together if we got maximum salvage. But at the same time too, we've definitely had missions like that, and they have thrown almost nothing but lights and a couple of mediums at us. So yeah, kind of a little unexpected to see as such heavy mechs as there were, but you know, it's one of those things, you can't really plan that out. It is, what do we call it? That intangible nature of working as a mercenary. Alright, so, we've got plenty of money, that is excellent. We should double check our MechWarriors. I don't think we took any wounds.
Waiting for orders.
No, and we're getting close to maxing out some of more of our piloting stuff.
Commander.
Should probably bring Cosmo along at some point.
Skipper.
And yeah, that is going to be it for today. So we'll come back with another contract in the next one. I think we've only got about 2 more, as a fair few of these are against the pirates, which isn't exactly what we're after. So if you do want to see more though, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.